You are listening to the One Up podcast, where listeners can try and call in and one up each other. Tonight, we're having a contest where listeners tell us their worst tragedy. The winner will have their story turned into a country western song by the legendary Trent Hudson. Well, we just heard from Tim, who regaled us with how he lost his car after losing a hand of Texas Hold'em. Now we've got Larry on the line. Larry, what have you got for us? Thanks for having me on. I got a humdinger, quite a doozy of a story for you. And by the way, I do love me some Trent Hudson.
Oh, don't we?
All right, so last year, I was coming home from the bar. I was a little buzzed, admittedly. I was driving along when all of a sudden, boom, the tire on my truck blew out. Turns out it wasn't such a good year for that particular tire, if you know what I mean. Well, I got out, started changing the tire when I guess I started to fall over. About that time, the city's finest was passing by and apparently saw me fall over. When you know it, I was given a breathalyzer and allegedly blew over the legal limit. Next thing you know, I'm in the back of a 5-0 about to get thrown in the pen. Next thing you know, I'm in the slammer and there's this hoss in there who just immediately doesn't like the cut of my jib. He looks me square in the eye and then proceeds to punch me right in the gut. Well, I'm still buzzed and end up puking all over myself. Finally, I pass out and I get released the next day. So I get me a taxi ride home. I walk into my house and find my old lady in bed with our 75-year-old neighbor. 75! I was equal parts pissed and impressed. Not with my old lady, mind you, with a neighbor. Needless to say, I am gobsmacked. I hightail it out of there, still in my vomit-stained clothes, walk out to the road, and proceed to get hit by one of them electric cars. Now, I don't know how many electric cars you've been around, but they are quiet as a church mouse. I didn't hear it coming. So now, I'm laying on the pavement, I think my ribs are broken, and now I can't walk. I must have laid on that pavement for like 10 hours or so. Only one person came by that whole time, which was my 75-year-old neighbor, and he had the audacity to not only screw my old lady, but proceeded to urinate on me right then and there. So I'm laying on the pavement, it's dark outside and rather chilly, and now I'm covered in not only my own puke, but old man urine. I'm thinking to myself, how can this get any worse? Well, let me tell you, it found a way. About 20 minutes later, I see this light approaching in the sky. I think it's a shooting star, and I went to go make a wish, but it started slowing down. When it got closer to me, it just started hovering above me, you know? Wouldn't you know it, it was a daggone flying saucer. I got abducted by aliens. Aliens! Well, old E.T. flew me out to BFE space where I was met with this wide variety of probing and prodding. They stuck things in me that I can't even begin to describe. I guess they finally got tired of the smell because they beamed me back down to earth, but they didn't have the courtesy to drop me off at my house. Nope, they put me in the next town over. I had to take a Greyhound back home. You know how hard it is to get a Greyhound whenever you smell like puke and 75-year-old man urine? It's not easy. Anywho, I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a story that will top that. Well, thank you, Larry. I think you're right. And after hearing that, I think this will be the final podcast ever. Can't top that. Can't top that. Well, thank you for listening, and I'm sure there's going to be a nice country western song. God hope there will be a country western song based off that, because I will listen to the hell out of that song. Thanks for listening and have a great night.